If you don't want your SMMA agency to look like this dead Christmas tree, there are things you have to do daily in order for you to have a successful and thriving SMMA social media marketing agency. Here are the 6 things that you have to do in order for you to not have this dead, lifeless, ugly social media marketing agency. Like, look how red this is, okay? This is ugly. Smells delicious though. If you like this video, please give me a like. My name is Aaron. I own a 6-figure digital media agency. I own a couple different other businesses, and I just like making videos for marketing and business and entrepreneurship to help you out. So when I first got started in the SMMA space, I didn't really know what to do. There's no real roadmap that someone could have gave me. And the roadmaps that people did give me, you know, they gave me like a 30-day challenge or whatever kind of challenge. It wasn't really like, okay, this is what I have to do every single day. It was more like, this is what I have to accomplish every day, but I don't know how to accomplish those things. So like, it was like, you know, book 1 appointment today. I'm like, okay, how do I book an appointment here? And so this video is really for someone who is just starting out, brand new, and doesn't know what kind of habits that they have to put into their life so that they can grow their business. And so these are the habits that have helped me, and hopefully they'll help you as well. The very first thing, number 1, you have to do every day without fail is to have conversations with business owners daily. Have conversations with business owners daily. Back to the office. Now, those conversations can be in different forms. They could be with the same people, they could be with different people, but I'll give you some examples. You have to have conversations with people, with business owners on Facebook, in Facebook groups. If you could do it automatically, start these conversations through LinkedIn programs. You have to do it through advertising. You have to do it through cold emailing, cold calling. If you're just walking into a store, have a conversation with the owner. If you're at a party or at some kind of social event, have a conversation about what people do like a human being. And if they're a business owner, ask them about their business and just keep asking them and have conversations. And I'm not talking about like try to manipulate the conversation and getting them to know, you know, what you do in marketing. That's going to naturally come. Just have conversations with business owners. And if there's 2 different ways, right? There's the programmatic, systematic approach where you've got a cold email sequence. I've got a video on that, on how I use cold email. You could watch that. And that counts as being able to talk to a new business owner every single day on autopilot and just kind of feel the responses. But there's also the organic way. Hey, put yourself next to business owners and just talk to them, and you never know what will happen. It might not be them that you'll be doing business with, but maybe that could shoot off into other areas or other opportunities or whatever. Especially if you're talking to the same business owners, then you're building a relationship, and you don't do business with people you don't trust. So build that relationship, build that trust, and then eventually you'll probably get to do some kind of business or some kind, at least a referral from them down the road. But you have to know that you must talk to business owners daily if you are a social media marketing agency owner. Especially like when you're out about on Facebook or whatever, you just got your like little antennas going on here, and you're just like, okay, who am I going to talk to? And it's not using people. You just kind of like, boop, there you are, gonna get you. You know what I mean? Like, talk to them and don't shy away from talking about their business. Businesses are extensions of people, and so they want to talk about their business because they want to talk about themselves. If this first tip helps, please give me a quick like button tap on the video to help me out, and because you're a generous person, because hopefully I helped you and now you could help me if you're feeling generous. If not, then let me try to earn this with the other tips here. The second thing you have to do daily is to read. You gotta read, and you gotta read a book every day. And the reason why is because the battle to build up an agency is in the mind. And if you read, you program and you reprogram your mind. This is a very actionable step that you have to do daily, in my opinion. Just a little bit every day, 15, 20 minutes every day. You're gonna start to work on your brain here, and so that you'll get yourself out of this rut of not taking action, not doing anything. Because there are 2 things that a new SMMA agency owner falls into, especially like two things that a business owner will fall into in general. The first thing is analysis paralysis. There's too much to analyze, too much to learn, and then you just got paralyzed just analyzing everything. And then the second thing is imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome is where you're talking to a business owner and then you don't want to tell them that you're a marketer or a good marketer, or you don't want to like you know, talk to them about it, about your business, because you don't feel like you're qualified enough to do their marketing. Analysis paralysis and imposter syndrome. Analysis paralysis happens when you're this little nerd, like in this cave, and you're learning about everything, and you got, and you just learn everything about every niche in theory. And then come time when you're at bat and you're ready to roll and you're ready to knock this and hit this out of the park, you're too scared because you've overanalyzed and you're trying to do everything perfectly. Look, marketing especially, it's like a trial and error. It's an A/B testing situation. You got to find out what works and what doesn't, and you'll never get it perfect on the first try. And then eventually it's going to fade, and then you're going to have to come to a face-to-face with a client, explain why it's not working, and your plan to get it out of it. There's too much analysis paralysis. Just take massive imperfect action, and you're going to be a good SMA agency owner, and it's going to grow. The second thing is imposter syndrome. And this is where you just kind of get freaked out because you don't feel confident in yourself because you overanalyze that you don't actually have experience. And so the best way to combat these two, diseases that are plaguing agency owners is to read. If you read, you will like start to massage in your brain, start to grow confidence, and moreover that, you'll start to take action. Taking action is the second part of that, but reading is the one that controls your actions. Okay, so you have to control this. You got to control your brain. You got to control your emotions, and your emotions control your habits, and your habits control your actions. And that's how you combat those two things. You must read every single day. The next thing to do to not waste time in building your SMMA agency is to promote your business every day. It doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you do it. It could be Google My Business and post there and adjust things. And I don't mean adjust like the information or the about section. I mean post every day. And if it's weird and it's wrong, it'll get better in time. But you just got to keep posting. Post about what you're learning or what you're doing. Just keep posting. Google My Business, LinkedIn, Facebook groups, Facebook page. What else you got? You got YouTube channels. You got Twitter. You got LinkedIn. You got all these things. Promote it every day. If you're not doing it online, do it in person, right? This goes along with talking to business owners, but not just talking to them. Like, promote your business. Say, hey, yeah, I'm doing. If you wear a T-shirt that says I'm an agency owner, I do marketing or whatever. Do that, just be sure to promote your business every day, because down the line people are going to think, and they're going to make that connection, hey, he does marketing. And so that's where you earn that business. One platform that I've liked recently is Reddit. Reddit is where I go on the forums and I start answering a whole bunch of questions. And I've gotten actually agency clients as students from the Reddit forums. And so if you're answering questions, if you're hopping on people's posts and your DMs and stuff like that, just keep on promoting your business, keep on promoting it, and keep helping people. Running a social media marketing agency is like running this big tractor thing. If you're gonna do it, if you're gonna operate it every day, you better learn about it every day. The fourth thing to do is to learn about your niche every single day. If you don't have a niche as an agency owner, definitely pick a niche. You can, if you're in the very, very beginning, just take any kind of job. In my philosophy, just take anything. Take everything and anything, because you want to get your feelers out to see what you kind of most think about. Don't be too picky, but eventually you have to get to a point where you have to pick and isolate a niche, and then just say, and you have to double down. And the reason why you have to pick a niche is because you could put systems and processes up in place so that everything runs very, very smoothly. Because if you have different niches that you're, working with, everything is different. Like a chiropractor doesn't have the same type of marketing and same type of funnel. You don't have the same information that you need to grab as a painter or a school. You know what I mean? So these are different niches. So try them all at first, but then pick one. And then when you pick the one or the few, start to learn about that. Do competitor research. Do research on the types of brands that are big out there, what they're doing, their marketing, what their services they're providing, the price points that they're providing it at, the types of sales that they're providing it, the trajectory of how they handle their sales, and what are busy months and what are not, and what are slow months for them. And so if you know all these things, then you start to become an expert into the field. And so that when you become an expert and people see you as an expert, people will start trusting you for their marketing services. One micro tip I like to do with this is I like to join Facebook groups with those in that niche. And so I would go into their group and just join the dance studio Facebook group. And they'd ask me, what kind of dance studio do you own? Like it's like the Facebook group is dance studio owners. Facebook group, right? And so I go in, and they asked me 3 questions, and they asked me what kind of business do you own? And I said, oh, I own I made up a dance studio. And then I told them a fake website, and it doesn't work, but then they let me in. They accept everyone anyway. And I just sit and I watch like a lurker. I watch like I'm just like in the Facebook group, and I'm learning about what they're struggling with, and I'm watching these dance studios like, oh, we're struggling with COVID, oh, we're struggling with pricing, students and parents and stuff like that. And I watch how they comment and how they react to each other. So I'm aware of what the problems are out there in a niche. And it doesn't have to be business specific related. It could be just in general. And then now if they hire you, now they've got an expert in their corner who knows, not just marketing and not just business, but like how to handle this whole wide array of problems that an entrepreneur is always having to solve. And so that's how you become an expert in the niche. Go where these people are. Go on their forums, go on the Reddit forums, go on these Facebook groups. I think the Facebook groups are really good, especially for local businesses. And if you're building a house like you're building this one, you're building an SMMA agency. It's basically us. It's the same thing. Look, the thing you have to do when you're building a house and a social media marketing agency is you have to track your spending daily. Every day, track every single dollar. Whoosh, whip every dollar into shape. Even if you know you didn't spend a single dime that day, open up your thing and just like look at it and say, yep, still there. And even if it takes 30 seconds or it takes 30 minutes, track it every single day, because eventually your subscriptions will grow. Eventually you're going to get clients. That money's going to come in. Eventually money's going to go out with advertising every single day. Eventually something's going to happen, and you don't want to fall into the same stuff that I fell into, where I forgot to close down an account, and then or close down a campaign that was spending money. It was an old campaign, and I doubled up on spending money for a new campaign for a client. And so now I'm spending double, and it lasted for a month, and I was like, oh, I can't believe I did this. And so I took a hit that month. I took a loss. And the reason why is because I did not track my spending every day. Track your spending every day. That is number 5. I don't care if it takes 30 seconds or 30 minutes or 30 hours. You got to do it. You got to do it. And on that, if you're spending money on meals, if you're driving around, all that stuff counts. If you're buying equipment, if you're whatever you're doing, track your spending every single day. The 6th and most controversial one that I'm going to say, but before I do, if you are feeling generous and you got a little bit of value from this video that you've been watching, you made it this far, I think you have, please, if you're feeling generous, just hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm to help share my videos. If this was helpful to you, just share it with another agency owner. That'd be great. The 6th tip that I have for you today is a little more controversial, and it's stop watching the news.
I know your pain,
but I know we'll get through this.
And more specifically, start tracking your time and how you spend it. I don't want to say every minute, but I will say like every hour, especially when you start off. Because if you start tracking how every hour is spent every day, and I like to do this at the end of the day, you're going to see what you were, what iPhone game that you were on for 30 minutes and you didn't mean to be 30 minutes on, when you could have promoted your business in 30 minutes to all those different platforms. Easily do that. But more specifically, here's the controversial part, is stop watching the news. Because when you watch the news, there's nothing good on the news.
Hopelessness and despair.
That's how they make their money. Nothing good is on the news. Everything is bad and everyone's doing some nonsense, stupid, crappy thing. Stop watching the news, because if you're an entrepreneur, if you're an agency owner, if you're trying to accomplish something awesome, that news will just kind of massage my weak little brain into
where they could take it away from all of us.
to thinking everything is negative in the world, and you'll be wrapped up into politics, and you'll be wrapped up into this stupid thing that this guy did, and you don't have time and you don't have the emotional capital to be like, hey, you know what, let me get into talking with this guy. It's negative effect, man. There's this negative effect on the news has on business owners. Some people might say, no, you have to be aware of what the world is doing. No, you don't. You gotta know what the stupid thing Trump is doing, stupid thing Biden's doing. You don't gotta be aware of any of that. because it doesn't directly affect you. If you think it directly affects you, then you're not, don't be an entrepreneur, man. I mean, just simply put, if that's going to hinder your growth as a business owner and entrepreneur, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. It's not going to be big. Every single entrepreneur I know, it's not that they don't watch the news, it's that they don't have time for something to distract them from what they're trying to accomplish, their bigger mission in life. And I believe that watching news just does that. It just distracts. It distracts you emotionally. It distracts you with your time, with your energy. Like, have you ever been in like a Facebook comment war or whatever? That stuff takes time. And then now you're researching, and now you're formatting, space, deleting exactly how you want to get this guy. Avoid politics. Avoid the news. I think that's one of the best things you could do every day to grow your business. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Aaron again. I like marketing and business and all that kind of stuff. I got a quick question for you. Which one of these tips was the single most valuable to you? Then if I hear enough comments back, or at least one, there's not a big channel, I'll make another video on that, maybe diving deeper into it. Thank you. Give me a like, a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.